I want to jump to this, I guess you can call it a story. This tweet from Interactive Polls. Breaking. NASDAQ falls to 2-year low on Monday, minus 1.84%. S&P lost 1.2. Look at this picture. I mean, there's some green in there. Okay. It's not as bad as that image of when Joe Biden was raising his fists and then people put the collapsing market behind them all in red as that meme. That was a good meme. But we're at a 2-year low now, and the stock market is dropped below the levels it was at before Biden became president. So I don't want to make this one political. I want to make this segment talking about the collapse of the economy more personal for individuals, and ask you, Drew, as we are watching an economic downturn. We're seeing inflation. We're seeing gas prices now go up. My question is, if this trajectory continues for whatever reason, be it the war or whatever, what happens to the average person's life? You as somebody who runs Fortitude Ranch, this recreation and survivalist community, you had to have done all the research in your middle of the class nuclear family. Economy hits. What does their life look like, and how bad can it get?
Well, a lot of people are calling for the recession, so there could be losses of jobs coming, although thus far that hasn't really happened, higher prices. But the thing that's really going to hurt people next year is food prices, not just because of normal inflation everywhere, but because of the lack of fertilizer, since they come largely from the Ukraine and Russia, and we're not getting those. And there's predictions of not just higher food prices, but in some parts of the world, you're going to have famine next year. Because food production is going to be way, way down.
Sri Lanka,
food
right?
Prices are going to go way up. And there have been other contributing factors, stupid government policies trying to stop fertilizer use in some ways for environmental reasons. But the world is facing a bad famine situation next year, assuming something worse doesn't happen, like Putin releasing a virus this year.
Or nuclear war or whatever. So the average family, somebody who... I assume the average person, they don't really pay attention. I was thinking, we were talking about the war stuff. I was like, why don't people care about this more? Why are there so many people that you try and talk about? I don't care about war. What's going on? Putin? I don't even know who that is. Ukraine, where is it? And then I'm sitting here, listening to Luke talk about the variety of things the U.S. is engaged in, what Russia's doing. And I'm thinking to myself, this is the kind of stuff that if you don't know about, one day it smacks you in the face. The war erupts, the food shortages, the food prices. For the people that have been paying attention and have done some degree of preparation, they're in a much better position. So with that in mind, let's say this escalates to hyperinflation. Let's say it does, something bad happens. Let's say it's either a nuclear strike. Let's say it's a virus or something happens. The average person in the United States, what do you think their day is like when the grid gets hit, or when gases are gone, or what happens in the worst case scenario?
Well, it's bad news for them. I mean, government's top priority is protecting government, and that's official policy. It's called continuity of government. And any kind of disaster or collapse, your police protection will go down because, number one, the priority is to protect the elected officials, the mayors, the governors, everyone else. So police normally doing patrols in your neighborhood, some of them will be called back to increase protection and care for government officials. I mean, you're near Mount Weather here. I won't give out your exact location, but you're not far from Mount Weather. I drove by there about a month ago. I can't believe all the construction going on.
Really?
Mount Weather, huge construction.
Whoa.
And I've Googled
They're getting
and I
ready.
can't find why,
Yep.
but they've already got massive facilities and they're expanding them for government officials. But there's nothing done for civil defense is gone in the United States.